Hello friends, today we are going to continue chapter number 2 Cultural Heritage of India, Handicrafts and Fine Arts, lecture number 4. Friends, today we are going to discuss about one more art of India. Friends, in the previous lecture we discussed about clay art. We also discussed about two another arts in the previous lecture, that is the spinning and the hand weaving. Friends, as we all are aware that in this chapter we are going to learn about the talents and the skills that the people of India are having. We learned in the very first part of this chapter that there are many talents and many skills of the artists of India. Many artists are present who are having such kind of talent and skill in their genes. They have got this talent in their heritage that we consider as a genetic heritage as well. There are lots of, if we look at the art of music that we learn in the further lectures, there are many learned musicians. There are born musicians we can get. They have the talent of playing music since birth. They are having the talent. Friends, there are many such talented and skilled artisans in our country. And this makes our culture very prosperous. Friends, it is due to these skill, talents, that in the present time also our culture that exists from this ancient period is very well known in the entire world. Friends, it is due to this talent that the Europeans were encouraged in establishing their colonies over here. They wanted this talent that was present in India to take in their own country. They wanted to earn wealth from the talent that was present in our country. Friends, in the previous lectures we discussed about clay art, which was the ancient art. And it is said that from the potter's wheel, how from a simple potter's wheel, a potter used to make many attractive utensils, toys, and many household things. At that time, even the huts to reside in it were made of this clay and counter, which was known as cubas. We learned how they used the unbaked clay that was known as terracotta. Friends, this was the ancient art. We also learned in the previous lecture about the spinning art. That was the process of making threads from small cotton balls. Friends, by joining these cotton balls together and making thread is known as spinning. We also learned about the hand weaving, in which we learned that India was very well known for the textile industry since ancient time. And then how we also discussed about the example of the muslin cloth of Dhaka, which was so delicate that the whole taka could even pass from a single ring. It could even fit in a matchbox. Friends, we also discussed that lots of knitting work on the carpet are well known. Today, friends, the topic that we are going to discuss, that is one more very important part of our culture, that is the Patola of Patan. Friends, today the topic that we are going to cover, that is the Patola of Patan. Friends, here we see the Solanki era was the golden era for this art. Friends, here it is said the Solanki era was the golden era for this art. This art developed very much during this area. Here it is said India's weaving art developed in this era. India's weaving art developed in this era. And friends, in this time it is said it was this Solanki era where this art got more and more influence. Here it is said during the reign of Sidraj Jai Singh, during the reign, that is the rule of Sidraj Jai Singh, here it is said many artisans came and settled here. Friends, here it is said during the reign of Sidraj Jai Singh, many artisans came and settled here. That is in Patan we can say. And they developed their art over here. Friends, it was the rule of Sidraj Jai Singh when these artisans came over here and settled over here because they got lot of support from the king, from the ruler Sidraj Jai Singh. So it was this period when this art developed more and more. Then here it is said the art of Patola is 850 years old. Friends, here it is said the art of Patola is considered as 850 years old. So you can clearly see that this art is not just 50 or 100 years old. This art of our artisan is more than 850 years old. This art, Patola, is also known as wavered icht. Friends, here it is said Patola is also known as wavered icht. That is weaving, we can say, weaving from both sides. Wavered icht. Patola is also known as wavered icht. Friends, the art of Patola is 850 years old and it is also known as this wavered icht. Wavered icht means it is considered as weaving from both the sides. Here it is the main characteristics that this sari has the characteristics that it can be worn from both sides. These main characteristics of this sari was it was designed on both the sides, hence it can be worn on either side. The designing was done on such a time that this sari can be worn either side, from both the side you can wear this sari. So this was one important characteristics of this patola of Patan. Here it is said that another characteristics was this sari was very durable and its color remained intact for a long time. Friends, another characteristics that was that this sari was very durable and its color remained intact for a long time. Then for this, it is said that owing to these characteristics, that a Gujarati proverb is used for that. Padi patole baad, feete par faate nahi, is a well-known saying for this sari, patola of Patan. It is very well said due to its durability and as it's remain intact for a long time, for we can say several years, and that is why the well-known Gujarati saying is given, Padi patole baad, faate pan feete nahi. So a very well-known words are used to show this thing. Then it means that it is very durable, right? Very durable means it remains, the cloth of this sari is durable for a very long time. Its color remains intact, right? Its color doesn't go away. These are some of the very well-known characteristics. Then owing to this small thing, owing to these characteristics, this patola became very famous. Friends, here it is said that it was due to, owing to these characteristics, that this patola became very famous. This remained. It is due to these characteristics that this patola was very famous. Patola became very demanding even in the, here it is said that patola even became very famous. It was very much demanding even in the other countries. Even in the other countries. Friends, here it is said that patola became very demanding even in the other countries. Here it is said, this art was so complicated that only some artists could do it. And here it is said that it is time consuming art. Friends, here it is said it is even time consuming art. Friends, you can see the characteristics of this patola of Patan. Here as it said that patola became very demanding due to these all characteristics, due to its durability, due to its intact in color. It was very much in demand in the other countries as well. And due to these characteristics, it is said that this art was very complicated as well. Only some artists were there who can work and make such patola of Patan. This work also was very complicated, as we discussed in the previous point that it was known as beaver-dict. Beaver means both side weaving. Beaver means both side. It means weaving. That means it is viewed from both the side. It can be worn from either side, right? And so the design was so complicated that it needs a lot of concentration, and that is why it was a time consuming art. A lot of time was consumed in making such kind of art. Friends, here let us go through the patola of Patan. Here it said the Solanki era was the golden era for this art. The Solanki era was considered as the golden era for this patola art. Then India's weaving art developed in this area. India's weaving art developed during this era, that is the Solanki era.